Alypius of Alexandria. Alypius of Alexandria, Greek, was a Greek writer of music who flourished around 360. Of his works, only a small fragment has been preserved, under the title of Introduction to Music. Contents: Works, Identity, References, Sources, Further reading. Works. The works of Alypius consist wholly, with the exception of a short introduction, of lists of the symbols used, both for voice and instrument, to denote all the sounds in the 45 scales produced by taking each of the 15 modes in the three genera, diatonic, chromatic, and harmonic. It treats, therefore, in fact, of only one, the fifth, namely, of the 7 branches into which the subject is, as usual, divided in the introduction, and may possibly be merely a fragment of a larger work. It would have been most valuable if any considerable number of examples had been left us in the actual use of the system of notation itself. Unfortunately, very few remain, and they seem to belong to an earlier stage in the science. However, Alypius' work remains the best source of modern knowledge of the musical notes of the Greeks, including a comprehensive account of the Greek system of scales, transpositions, and musical notation, and serves to throw some light on the obscure history of the modes. The text, which seemed hopelessly corrupt to its fierce contemporary editor, classical scholar Johannes Meursius, was nevertheless restored, apparently with success, by the Danish scholar Marcus Meibomius. Introduction to Music was printed with the tables of notation in Meibomius' Antiquae Musicae Scriptores, in Quarto, Amsterdam, 1652. Meibomius not only made use of the manuscript belonging to Joseph Scaliger, but others existing in England and Italy. Carl von Jahn published an authoritative edition in Musicae Scriptores Graeci, 1895-1899. Identity. There are no tolerable sure grounds for identifying Alypius with any one of the various persons who bore the name in the times of the later emperors, and of whose history anything is known. Jan Benjamin de Laborde places him toward the 4th century, according to one of the most plausible conjectures. According to the most plausible conjecture, he was that Alypius whom the writer Eunapius, in his Life of Iamblichus, celebrates for his acute intellect and diminutive stature, and who, being a friend of Iamblichus, probably flourished under the Emperor Julian the Apostate and his immediate successors, that is, during the 4th century. This Alypius was a native of Alexandria, and died there at an advanced age, and therefore can hardly have been the person whom the Roman historian Ammianus Marcellinus called Alypius Antiochenes, who was employed by the Emperor Julian in his attempt to rebuild the Jewish temple. Julian addresses 2 epistles, 29 and 30, to Alypius, in one of which he thanks him for a geographical treatise or chart. It would seem more likely that this was Alypius of Antioch, instead of Alypius of Alexandria, although Meursius supposes the two were the same. Iamblichus wrote a life of the Alexandrian Alypius, although it is no longer extant. End.